Hello everyone, this is HBJ, and today I'm going to be taking you through the kind of process that went behind my recent mashup, Purplish Day. So this is part of Ninja Senpai's Odessa core, and it's a very interesting core in that we're working with instrumentals and acapellas that are very unique, and they're quite ambient, and there's a lot of effects and stuff. So it's definitely an interesting core album, and if you're a mashup artist, a seasoned mashup artist, or a newcomer, I encourage that you check it out because it's always fun to play with new sources. So I was looking through combinations, and I came across the combination of the song Today by Odessa and Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue by Portugal the Man. And I find that well, first off, I really liked the song Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue. It took me way back to like my high school days, and well, actually I'm not that old, but I really enjoyed the song and I liked the vocals of it. Actually, I like the remix of it. The original song I couldn't care less for. It's okay, but I wanted to change the feel of it all. So another part of my, I don't know, kind of my growing up was the song Cult of Personality, and the opening segment, which is Malcolm X's speech. I kind of it resonated with me for some reason, and I noticed that this song had these kind of whispery vocals, and I kind of wanted to have this little this vocal part at the beginning. So we're going to listen to it on its own. So this is what it sounds like. So I have a little delay envelope here so that I can get the word understand and a little bit of the words before to kind of carry out, and then we would be introduced with the whispery kind of glitchy vocals that Odessa had. I think it's pretty neat. So I had that little speech excerpt, and then I carried through the instrumental. And as I'm going through the instrumental, I found that this part worked particularly well from Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue. So I really liked that, and I liked it so much that I kind of like looped it over. So I found that when the kind of instrumental changes, when that guitar strums, I kind of introduce the vocals there, the backing vocals. So I really liked that, and I wanted to make it so, because at this point there weren't many intelligible vocals, so I kind of wanted to hit them with this kind of the main part that is the most memorable with the acapella.
Purple, yellow, red, and blue.
So I liked that, and it was kind of the oh oh oh, and it goes to the purple, yellow, red, and blue. So then I kind of cut the chant sample there to kind of bring that out, so it sounds like that. So to kind of separate that part, I had this little I got this trap music pack from Mr. Wob, and if you don't know him, definitely check out his SoundCloud. You can find him at like Wobble. He gave me this a link to this production starter pack, and I found that I wanted to separate the vocals here. I kind of want to split it up because to have the 4 oh 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 is kind of a little bit much. So then I have this like this trap sample. So it's like, so when you hear that sound in like electronic dance music or any music, like this sound, that's essentially just a cymbal but played backwards, and then I kind of have the release of another cymbal. So all in all, it kind of sounds like this. And then the kind of woo at the end of purple, yellow, red, and blue, I kind of want it to not line up with the cymbal, so it sounds like this. And I like that. So I got them familiar with it. I looped it twice, and then I slowly bring in the working vocals right here, and the vocals sound like this. So I bring it up very, very gradually. Like right here, it's very, very gradual. However, when the beat starts kicking in at this part, you can hear that kind of snapping in that drum pattern. That's when I kind of spike it up a little bit. So it's still the backing vocals, but it's also being brought up so that when I drop the chorus at around here, it's not too jarring in terms of volume. So I'm bringing it up, and it sounds like that. So I like that, and there's a part in Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue. I took this part straight from the chorus. I kind of clipped it. So I thought that was a really cool line, and I just kind of put it in the background. And it's still building up, and then I do it again. So same with the vocals, the chanting vocals in the back. I kind of want to end it on a high note. So to have that kind of, that subtle burst of energy and go right into the chorus, because I didn't like how any of the verses sounded, and plus it's already like a minute or so into the track, and you know, to just hit them with the chorus, I thought that was okay. So to kind of break up these vocals, I have the working vocals, and it's just little, these things, and I thought that was really cute, and it kind of picks up from the kind of like the kid voices at the beginning, and I really wanted to use a working a cappella, but I found that like no instrumental that I could possibly find went with it, so I just thought I'll just use the chants. So this isn't really an anime focused mashup, it's more like kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like electronic music mashup, I guess. So this kind of pattern was derived from me just kind of listening to it and just kind of humming and seeing which where I would want to put the working vocals. So because I realized that these are like backing vocals, and the vocals, I found that actually Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue, it already had some reverb attached to the original vocals. And I kind of wanted to do that, but a little bit wetter, so it's kind of like, it's not the main focus, but it's building the atmosphere of it. So Coolish Walk, it has kind of a wet reverb onto it, and it kind of has that hang time, and I kind of liked that because it kind of built the mood of it all. And I kind of looped the chorus again because I liked the chorus a lot. And again, to separate it, I have the little trap sample, and it just kind of sounds like that. It's really subtle, but I feel as though it kind of adds to it. And same with the vocals. So these are the vocals for Coolish Walk, which is the second season opening. And the original version that I uploaded several days ago that I wasn't too happy about, it kind of kept the same pattern, and I wanted to break from that monotony in the chant. But I find that Coolish Walk and Someone Else, which is the first season opening, has this kind of pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, but it's actually displaced on a different beat. So it's kind of still carrying on the same language, but it's just in a different kind of tempo, but it's paying respect to the original sources. One interesting part, I kind of wanted to make this mashup my own, and instead of kind of slapping it all together, I had this idea of having the Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue vocals carry off into the instrumental and just kind of trail off, and then the chanting becomes more of the priority. So here's what it sounds like. And as you can see with the volume envelope here, I kind of trail it off so that, you know, it's kind of carrying from the chorus but not entirely the chorus. So I just found that it complemented the instrumental quite well, so we're just going to listen to it. And then the someone else vocals, it has a it's relatively louder compared to the rest of the chants, so it's kind of like this. I find that the someone else vocals, it worked better for this part because as it progresses and it gets lower, you can still hear the letter S, and that's kind of the I kind of want to keep that. Whereas if I kept it with pon pon pon, it's I don't know, it felt a little too repetitive, and I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit and make it more, you know, make working at least kind of like matter in this mashup. So I'm going to carry the vocals through, instrumentals doing the same what it's doing, and the vocals become, well, the chanting becomes the priority. And as you can see here, the vocals are kind of trailing off to this volume envelope. So it's like, all I want to do is I could just kind of stretch out the I. It's all I, okay. And for here, it's kind of the same thing. And I can't help it, and I just kind of stretch out the it. Like, listening to it by itself, it's not entirely that clean, but I feel as though the instrumental and the chanting kind of, it's the stretched out vocals is more of the backing. And then I have the purple, yellow, red, and blue come in here, and to kind of separate it, to say, hey, there's going to be a change here. So one of the big ideas for this mashup was kind of building on top of itself. So the first part was like getting you used to the chants, and then getting used to the Coolish Walk chants, and that fades in. And then the chorus, it kind of loops, but it's getting you used to the chorus and getting used to the, you know, that there are chants here. And then when I stretch it out, it's kind of like, you know, you understand, like, oh, I've heard this before, but it's used in a different way. And another song that I absolutely loved, and when I was listening to the mashup, I couldn't help but hear the song Float On by Modest Mouse. So what I did, I just went into Nexus, I got like a guitar, where's Nexus? Here it is. So I got a GT dance guitar, and I kind of fiddled with some of the stuff here, and produced the sound that I wanted. So listening to it by itself, it sounds like this. So the original Float On actually sounded like this. But I feel as though that kind of C sharp fell out of the scale of the Odessa song, so I kind of kept it at that. But then to kind of tie everything up, I drop it to B, so you can still have that Modest Mouse feel to it. And as the guitar, like, my intention was to have the guitar pluck as the priority, so I dropped the vocals for working even further. And the fact that we know that the all I and the help it is kind of stretched out, repeating it again, people have gotten used to that kind of sound, and these become the backing, whereas the melody becomes the priority. And to kind of separate it and go into the next part, I have the Cult of Personality sample again, and I just kind of made it a little shorter. And I have that kind of that delay effect on it to trail into the next part. And with Float On, I kind of messed with the volume. I kind of brought it a little lower, and that's about it. And then I do the chorus one more time, but this time I have these little woos in there, like this. And it just kind of builds on top of it. Woo. And this is to break things up a little more, but to kind of keep the flow going. This is part of the acapella that I had a kind of like a big idea for.
I just wanna be evil. I just wanna be evil. Wanna be evil.
So whenever the backing vocal says evil, I replace it with a moo moo over here, like the. So it sounds like this. And I found that this part of the acapella right here, that part was a little low, so I kind of brought that part up a little bit. I'm not a fan of using limiters on my vocals. I'd rather just balance the volume manually. So I'm going to keep going. So we went from the chorus to the song's bridge, and then I go back to the stretching part, the all I, and I introduced the float on melody a little bit earlier because we kind of adjusted it to it over here, and I do the Coolish Walk vocals instead of the someone else vocals. So let's listen to it. So we have the instrumental, the vocal kind of backing that I created, this little woo to emphasize the change a little more, the vocal, the lead pluck guitar here, and the Coolish Walk sample. So sound like the previous version, it sounded really busy here because the priority of the chant was conflicting with the melody. So I just kind of dropped the volume on all of them a little more, so it sounds like this. And then I do another purple, yellow, red, and blue. And for those who are really observant, I changed the acapella pattern. I changed it to someone else here. So Coolish Walk is, it goes on for this many counts, and then I throw in someone else, because at this point someone else is going to get quieter, and I like how the S's kind of peak up from that quietness. When they say someone, I like the S's peaking up, so that's kind of what I did. And then to kind of split up, saying that, hey, we're going to go into the end right here, I do that trap cymbal riser and release thing. And then a little woo. And then for the last note of float on, I kind of stretch it out so that carries into the last part. And so it's just to say that, hey, the song's ending. And then all I need is something to believe in, and I have the Coolish Walk vocals here. And for some reason, like before, like to split this part in half, I added another woo, but instead I kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. just kind of like a little reward for the people who have been paying close attention and that actually made it to this far in the song. And I had the little someone else vocal, and it's super subtle. Here comes the yay. Super subtle. And I kind of took actually, before I get into that, the ending a cappella, I wanted to trail off a little bit, because for some reason, when he says everything falls in place like that, a bit of kind of distortion comes in. I don't know what that sound is, a microphone like feedback, and I'm like, I don't want that. Well, I don't want it to end abruptly either. So I kind of added a little bit of reverb at the last word. I kind of modified the volume of the last word, and I cut this one so that the word that, the final that, would kind of end like that. And I put a little delay on it, so it sounds like and it just carries on. It's very, very subtle. Like, nope. I would have to need these ones and get this up here. Yeah, kind of like that. And it just carries off into nothingness. So I took a real kind of risk with this mashup, in that people mostly know me for anime mashups, but I wanted to do something different, because I wanted to see how far I could take pop music so that it's not entirely like an uninspired Song 1 plus Song 2 pop mashup, right? I kind of added my own flair to it, my own intervention of extending the vocals and to have these anime chants in the background. I didn't use the third season opening because the acapella didn't rip cleanly, and it wasn't as clean as Someone Else and Coolish Walk. So these are kind of all the steps that went into it, and yeah, that's about it. I realized that, you know, I check my statistics, and people really don't listen beyond like the 2-minute 20, 2-minute 30 mark of a mashup, and it's a shame, because most of the work is like done here, and you know, it's okay. It's like the people that are patient who will sit through it. I've kind of wanted to create this ambient sounding mashup and just have it really peaceful, but I wanted to put things in it that you wouldn't catch the first time around. Like if you listen to it like the second time or the third time, that you'd start noticing these little subtle changes, because it's like it's building on top of each other. Even though it sounds kind of repetitive, each time, each block of whatever, I think like 16 counts, something new gets introduced that's different from the last, for the most part anyways. And Coolish Walk was really fun to volume balance, well, to master properly, because there were some parts that I wanted louder and some parts I wanted to build up and to kind of like fade off and all that. So I think the biggest challenge was getting the volume of everything right, because there are times where I'm playing like 5 different sounds at once, and I saw this more as kind of like a challenge, and I'm quite happy with the result. I think it sounds great as music, and I think my ideas are there. Hopefully next upload I intend on maybe doing something a little more simpler, something a little more kind of like the conventional anime mashup style that I was going for. But I feel as though that with my channel it had kind of gone stagnant, and it's kind of like, oh, you know what to expect. But for this one, I wanted to say like, hey guys, I mix other music too, but I still kind of kept to my roots with the samples and the working and the melody stuff like that. Especially the melody. The melody is what sold me for this combination, because a lot of these songs, these are fairly old songs, but all of these songs have like a special place in my heart. Like Someone Else, Coolish Walk, those are like, you know, the songs that I used to listen to before I started doing mashups, and I really liked working as an anime, so I kind of wanted to bring people into a new experience, mixing sources that they didn't quite recognize, but to have this kind of familiarity going on in the background, especially with Float On, because it's like a lot of people already know Float On already, And oh, another reason why I did this as a MIDI is because I didn't like the original guitar to float on. Like if you listen to the stem, it sounded a little too rigid, and I didn't think that was what I was going for. So yeah, all of these sources, with the exception of today, I think today was just a nice backing song to kind of collect all my thoughts and just kind of like install it into this mashup. But yeah, it was like all these little sources here and there kind of like spoke to me, and it's what I really liked to do. It was I'd say this mashup took me about how many hours? I think around 30 working hours, spread over like 4 or 5 days. Because once I found the combination, everything just kind of fell into place. But I don't know, it kind of took me a while, but I wanted to get it perfect. That's why I had like 12 reviewers on this mashup. Because I wanted to do something different this time around, and I'm glad if you stuck through the entire mashup. I'm quite happy that you did, because this isn't a song where it's kind of like, it hits you right away. It's a song that's all about like building. It's kind of like a mood that I wanted to create it, of just constantly like easing yourself into it, so that when it does become like having a lot of sounds going off at once, that you're kind of like familiar with all the sources. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I don't know when my next upload's going to be, but I hope this kind of brings you inside of what goes on in my head when I listen to music and when I play with it. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care. See ya.